Hey everybody, welcome to Capes Not Included. My name is Danny J. You're right here on the DJB Productions Network. Go down and click the subscription bell. Go hit the notification bell. Leave us a comment. Share the channel. Everybody, it's a great show. It's a great day. And we got a great topic for you today. You're not going to want to miss it. But first, let's jump on here. Check out the host of New Comic Book Wednesdays. We got my man Bobby T. Bob Taylor in the house.
What's up, y'all?
And then coming straight out of the bar, rough shot. LeGrand Jackson in the
What's
bar.
up, people? How y'all feeling?
LeGrand Jackson right here.
Do a little something for you.
Fantastic, fantastic. There you go. Now, crazy. So today we're going to be talking about, it's a great topic. We're talking about the Disney Plus original series, The Mandalorian. Okay. 8-episode series. Fantastically done. Worth getting the Disney Plus streaming service alone. Just for that. Honestly, it's so good. We're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how it comes through, how it relates, and just how great it was. Guys, what we're going to do, I'm going to bring in a little tighter. There we go. Let's try that for a little bit. And here's the deal. Mandalorian, right? It's just the rate or the creed of people who is best known, if you're a Star Wars fan, as Jango or Boba Fett. Okay. These are the bounty hunters of that universe. They're a creed of bounty hunters or warriors. And it goes by how they live their life, that type of thing. In this particular series, very Western, would you say? Very Western-esque, very good, the bad, and the ugly. Very cool thing. Everybody that's has the internet knows they're what they commonly call the Baby Yoda. I will tell you, it's not Yoda, by the way. It's not Baby Yoda.
No, you just ruined it for me.
Oh, just whatever. Shut up. It's not Yoda. We know it's not Yoda.
It's a 50-year-old baby.
It's a 50-year-old baby. He looks like Beast Boy when he went through that problem with the birthdays. And remember when he gets old and he's in the birthday universe, he's like, yeah, you want to know about when I got this watch? You know, it's like that's what he looks like. That's what he looks like. You know what I mean?
But Gizmo had too much to drink and ready to throw up.
He did. He really did. But he's the MacGuffin of the series. You know, he's the one that ties in and say, I want to check that out and see what's up with this Baby Yoda. But
Dude, I love Baby Yoda though. Baby Yoda is fucking adorable.
He's pretty good. He is cute. He is cute as shit. But he's not Jar Jar Binks. Okay.
No.
He is not Jar Jar Binks. So I want you guys to understand, if you were shaded in any way because of Jar Jar Binks, this is not the scenario. Okay. He's the MacGuffin of the story. So just understand that. You're going to see episodic adventures with this underlining storyline of what he has to do with quote unquote Baby Yoda. Okay. They do a lot in 8 episodes. They do a shit ton in 8 episodes. Episodes run about 35 to 40 minutes each, and it is nonstop. And when I tell you, it is pretty much to the production level of the movies. Oh, hell yes, it is. Oh, hell yes, it is. This is going to be
the star power alone. You got Carl Weathers, Gina Carano. I mean, it's great.
It really is.
Game of Thrones is the Mandalorian.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. That's right. And he's great. He's great as the Mandalorian. They call him Mando.
And the best part is he don't really have that much dialogue. He's like, he says like 3 things.
Yeah, he's very action oriented versus, and that's the character. You know what I mean? So, which is very cool the way they do that. He has a lot of great adventures during these 8 episodes. The cool thing about this is, and I really, after watching the whole thing, you do not have to watch the movies to watch this and enjoy it.
No, not at all.
This really truly was a
Complete
standalone series. Now, granted, if you did watch the movies and you're a fan of Star Wars, you'll get everything. You'll get everything in there. It's just that much better. But if you didn't watch the movies and you didn't know about Star Wars and you watched this, you would say this is a pretty kick-ass sci-fi show. And that's the cool thing about it, is that it's not discerning to anybody. It doesn't discriminate against if you were a fan or not a fan. It does not matter. It does not matter. If you like action, if you like sci-fi, this is a great thing. It really, truly is. Now,
this is one of those shows that you can sit down with your girlfriend or your wife and your kids, because let's face it, most of us are in it for the actual Mandalorian himself.
Yeah.
But most of the women love Baby Yoda.
Well,
he's a cute little character.
Yes, he is. And let's break it down for you. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you.
He's an Ewok. Every chick loves the Ewoks.
Oh,
he's an Ewok.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We're going to talk about the spoilers here real quick, and I'm going to get in nice and close with you guys. Here's the scenario.
Don't touch my butt.
I'm going to touch your butt with Baby Yoda. So here we go. Here's what happens. At first, when they first advertised the show, I thought it was a Boba Fett show.
Right.
I did. I honestly did. I thought it was going to be Boba Fett.
Well, a lot of people who aren't familiar with Star Wars universe think that Boba Fett is the Mandalorian. You know what I'm saying? Right. They don't understand. Like, I'm not sure how well you guys understand the show, but I'm like huge Star Wars geek, and
right.
The Mandalore, not the Mandalorian. The Mandalore is, and Danny and Legrand, I'm gonna fucking spoil this for you, but because you didn't see the whole series. But if you were familiar with the finale, if you saw the finale,
yeah,
when the guy cut himself out of the ship with that black lightsaber,
yes,
the dark saber.
Black lightsaber is the saber of the Mandalore. Whoever owns that saber is the leader of the Mandalorian.
Right. But didn't they say though, and you see that when he's there, that he's the one that pulled him out as a kid? That's how he knew him?
No, he didn't pull him out. He was saved by Mandalorians and raised by Mandalorians. He's the one who destroyed his family.
Okay. Because I was watching that literally today, and I was getting interrupted, and I'm going back and watching and stuff like that. You know, but like, it was one of those things where, and understand, people, what we're talking about right now is like the last episode. That's so much to tell you before we even get to that point. But here's the deal. I thought it was going to be Boba Fett. And then you see Baby Yoda. They start doing Baby Yoda, and then you're like, well, maybe this is a prequel. And that really even confirmed more. I said, maybe this is Jango Fett or somebody before Jango Fett, because I'm thinking it's a prequel because everybody wants to see where the fuck Yoda came from, right? No. If you get to the last episode, now remember I said spoiler alert. When you get to the last episode, he's talking with the leader of the Mandalorian Guild, and he mentions how the kid, as he refers to him, has these powers, and he can move things with his mind, and he never seen anything like that before. And she says, this is, and I'm paraphrasing because I forget what the hell she said, but she says something like, this goes back to stories of days of old when there were these sorcerers called Jedi. So this is long, long in the future. This is not right after Rise of the Skywalker or anything like that.
No, this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
It can't be.
It is. I'm going to tell you why it's 5 years. They first off, they've already mentioned that it's 5 years after Return of the Jedi. All right, they've mentioned this. They talked about in the very beginning of the episode how the Empire, how the Death Star was destroyed 5 years ago, and Baby Yoda is 50 years old. So that means he was 45 years old when Yoda died. So Yoda knew about this. This brings a whole lot of things to light. Okay, Yoda knew about this baby, and if you watch Empire Strikes Back, for years everybody thought when Obi-Wan Kenobi said that boy is our only hope, our last hope, Yoda said no, there is another. For many years, people thought he was talking about Princess Leia. Right. Obi-Wan already knew about Princess Leia. Obi-Wan was talking about Baby Yoda.
That was my shock face. Look at that, how he explained it. Boom. I'm sold. All right, good. But the only problem is, though, if it's 5 years after Return of the Jedi, how is the Jedi Knights a folklore that only old people know about? Do you see my hole there?
No, I do see your hole. I absolutely see your hole. Like this guy, the Mandalorian, like the Jedis are Santa Claus now.
Right.
Right. But 5 years later?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that doesn't make much sense to me because he's traveling to Tatooine. He's traveling to planets where a lot of this shit fucking happened. Okay.
Well, that's why I brought up the last episode. Okay. Because of the Mandalore and the Darksaber. So what's going to happen is the rise of the Jedi is going to happen again, and you're going to have Baby Yoda as the Mandalore Jedi.
Oh.
That's what everybody believes is going to happen.
Raised because in that episode,
he's going to be raised as a Mandalorian, and because he's a Jedi, he's going to be worthy of the Darksaber, and he is going to be the Mandalore.
There you go. Because in that, the leader of the guilds, he says to him that until you find his race or whatever, you're his father. So he's going to, and he has an attachment to this Baby Yoda. He really does have an attachment to him. Because remember, he's not a Mandalorian by birth.
Right.
He took on, because they rescued him and then they raised him from a slightly young age, not that young. He seemed like he was about 8 years old or whatever. But they raised him, so he's very loyal to them, and that's how he grew up, but he's not a Mandalorian per se, you know.
No, he wasn't raised on the planet Mandalore.
No.
That planet was wiped out by Palpatine during Star Wars Rebels. That's why you need to go back and watch Clone Wars and Rebels, because they tell all these past stories about how the Mandalorians were wiped out.
Yes. Because they make reference to that in the episode marked as Prison or Prisoners, where they say, if you're so tough, why are you all wiped out? That's exactly what he says, basically. He's like, why were you all killed? You know?
Well, they're not all killed. They're all underground now.
Yeah. He looks at him like, you know, I'll fucking kill you. You know, he's like, he's this badass. You know, he's this badass Clint Eastwood looking motherfucker with a helmet.
Right.
You know,
this is the way.
Yeah. But you know what though? What's cool though is that they legit pay no homage at all to the characters that we know. Yeah. And I think that's good. I really think that's good. It makes this standalone. You know, it will, but if you notice this season, which is an 8-episode season, but it's so packed, you know, it did not physically need the word Skywalker, Darth Vader, Palpatine. It didn't need any of that shit. It didn't at all. We're accepting this world for what it is right this moment. And we're engaged in his world right now. And that's all you need to know. The only thing you got out of it were the stormtroopers hanging around. And how about this? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Bob. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you, but it's just funny thing.
If you're a huge fan of Star Wars, go on YouTube and type in Mandalorian Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a a tutorial of about 30 different hidden items throughout those 8 episodes that were all in the original Star Wars trilogy.
Get out. That's awesome.
Yeah, just like you see the bar they go into.
Yes.
That's the same bar that on Tatooine that Han shot Greedo.
In New Hope.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And it's run by the droid who was working in Jabba's palace.
That silver droid you're talking about?
No, the one who said, "We'll make use of you on the master sail barge."
Oh, yeah.
Bartender.
Yes.
You know, what do you go? There's a lot of hidden things. Like there's one part of the Mandalorian where he runs into a building, and leaning up against the building is the giant pole that they try and stop the trash compactor with.
Yes.
It's all different things hidden in there.
And here's a great thing. And I thought this was probably for me, one of the highlights of the entire season was I think it was like the second to last episode, where the two not snow speeders, but the two
scouts.
The scouts are sitting there. They grab Baby Yoda and they have to wait. And they have to wait for clearance to come in. And they have this conversation amongst the two of themselves, right? And this is no different than if 2 security guards were at an overnight shift, had nothing to do, and were bullshitting with each other. It was very comical.
And one of those biker scouts was Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
Get out. See, there you go. Now, it was so funny. It was so funny how they did it. And, you know, the one guy wanted to see what it looked like. And he's like, "You just want to see what it looks like?" He goes, "Well, sure, I want to see what it looks like." You know, and, you know, then he goes.
That set everybody off, too, because he kept punching the bag.
Yes. And then throughout the series, at least in 2 separate occasions, by verbiage and by visible, they showcase how bad a shot all the stormtroopers are. That was one of the funniest things I did. They talk about
he's like shaking the gun. There's something wrong with this thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're shooting something that's like literally 10 feet away, and they're shooting it nowhere near where the fuck this thing is, right? It's like on the ground. And then there's a conversation, I think, when he talks to the rebel jumper.
Right.
I forget her name, but he's talking about that, and they talk about stormtroopers or somebody was a stormtrooper, and it was a reference to them not being able to shoot anything.
Right.
Yeah, you know, so that's the running joke throughout the show, which is funny as shit because that's something that fans came up with in a sense.
Right.
That you know, you don't worry about the stormtroopers coming after you because they're never going to hit you anyway. It's very A-team, very A-team-esque with that. You know, but it was so cool, and they did such great stuff, and the acting was not over the top. I think my favorite episode was the prison episode when they break the one guy out, the brother of the girl. Right. I think that was my favorite episode.
That guy is like the guy who played the leader of those guys is like a big time comedian.
Yes, he is. He is, and he was great. He was great in the show. He was a dickhead.
Yeah.
But he was a great dickhead in this episode. I was like, that's really cool. And the other guy was in a lot of stuff too. The guy that commissioned that prison breakout, the guy with the beard, he was in a lot of stuff too. I forget what he was in, but I've seen him even recently. He was in something. If you go back and check, I forget his name, but you'll say, oh yeah, this guy was in this, that, and the other thing. He was in a number of different things over the last 5 years or so. So that was really cool too. So you're seeing a high production scenario. You're seeing a story that is not heavily sitting on the mythos of Star Wars. It really isn't when you think about it. It ain't straying away. I'm not saying that. But like I said, going back to the statement I said in the beginning, you don't have to watch not one Star Wars movie to watch this and understand what's happening. And
no, not at all.
And that was smart writing. That was so smart of that.
Not only do you not have to watch it, you don't have to, and you will enjoy it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because from episode 1, you're sitting there mesmerized.
Yeah.
The landscape that they're using for the desert scenes and everything is beautiful.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
And then with the costuming, everything is just on point when it comes to this show.
It really is. It really
Now,
is.
there were a lot of complaints when the first episode came out, though.
Like
because, well, for some reason, I mean, and even though this show is super well done and done properly because it's done by an actual fan, you know, it's made by the Favreau or whatever the hell his name is.
It's Happy.
And he is a huge Star Wars fan, and that's why this show is so successful.
Yes.
But one of the huge complaints about this show when it first came out was, for some reason, every time something new comes back from Star Wars, they instantly go back to Tatooine. Like there's no other fucking planets in the fucking universe. You know? So, and they constantly reuse the same shit. They had to use sand people. They had to use Jawas. They had to use sand crawlers. They had to use a bar. They had to use it. But I loved all that shit because it's nostalgic to me. You know what I'm saying? But there were a lot of complaints online.
But it was on Navarro for 3 episodes, which is where it starts off at. So, I mean, that was kind of cool. You get to see that planet and you get to see what's going on there. And a lot of the same shit's happening, no matter where it is. You see a lot of the same species, which I think was cool. And you also see some new species. Because the one thing that Star Wars does, it makes the universe a buffet of aliens.
Oh, absolutely.
A buffet of aliens. I'm gonna coin that phrase, a buffet of aliens. Because it was. It's just amazing. I said it right here. It's recorded. If you like a good old Western, you will love this. One of the episodes is named Gunslinger.
Yeah. It's spaghetti. It's unbelievable.
It's a spaghetti Western in space, which is what every man should be able to watch. I'll just say, I would love a movie done in the same fashion. And the closest we got to this was Roger Corman's what was that? Battle Beyond or whatever, Battle Beyond the Stars.
Oh, Battle for the Stars.
Yeah, that Battle Beyond the Stars. It was Battle Beyond the Stars, and that starred John Boy from the Waltons and George Lepard getting toasted as the cowboy. But it was just so cool. And what I was happy about was that it wasn't like, and I keep saying this, but it was not at all redundant of the movies. It was not redundant of the mythos of everything we know. You're looking at the Mandalorians, you're going to look at the Mandalorian. Because let's face it, the Mandalorians are not portrayed that much in any of the Star Wars movies.
Well, what I like about it is typically the Mandalorians are portrayed as ruthless and bad guys.
Yeah.
This shows that this guy has heart. He cares.
He's a bounty hunter. That's all he is. He's Lee Majors on The Fall Guy.
Yeah, but this one cares. He actually has the sense of caring. He has compassion.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So,
now, could you argue the fact that that's because he's not Mandalorian?
No, I don't think so. I think most people.
You don't think he's bringing something to the table because he's learned their ways, but he wasn't born?
No, I don't think so. I think the bounty hunters are usually compared to Boba Fett and Jango Fett, who were ruthless. You know, like get your man, get him home. The actual Mandalorians were hired hands. They were hired to do a job. Whether it be good or bad, they did the job. They were more like the Magnificent Seven.
Yes, there you go.
Yes.
They were mercenaries.
They were. But in the last episode, he earned.
But even though that, the original Mandalorians were more like the Magnificent Seven.
In the last episode, he earns his clan, as they say. He gets the shield, and she says, "You're a clan of 2," right. which to me is like, motherfucker, and nobody else in here wants you. So you take your baby Yoda and you go out about your business, and I'll take care of shit here. Okay? Because once again, you see it from the first episode that some of those Mandalorians are a little touchy-feely when it comes to him because of the fact you're like, hey, you're not us.
Right.
But he's obviously one of the best of them.
Right.
You know, so there's a animosity, there's a jealousy of the people that he respects and that he represents.
Right.
He really is a soul out of place, which is why
I equate that.
Yeah.
I equate that to G.I. Joe and Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes wasn't originally a Arashikage. He became, and so you had Storm Shadow and whatever.
Yes.
Thought of him as an outsider.
Right.
Even though he was one of them, he wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
American Ninja.
There you go.
Michael Dudikoff. Nobody invites
My
that guy to
man.
the party.
You pulled out the Dudikoff on this one. I love it.
And what's his name from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker? Who's Karate Joe?
Kung Fu Joe. Come on, man.
Kung Fu Joe. There you go. They need to put him in a fucking episode of The Mandalorian. That would be great.
He passed away.
Did he really?
Stephen
Yeah.
James, he passed away from cancer.
Wasn't he Huggy Bear? The original Huggy Bear?
That was
No.
Antonio Fargas.
Yes. No, he
Stephen
wasn't.
James played Kung Fu Joe and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and he was also Michael Dudikoff's partner in the American Ninja,
in Ninja movies. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. He was. They said
No, Fly Guy was the original.
back to
Fly
Black
Guy
Lightning.
was Huggy Bear.
It goes back
Yes,
to Black
Fly Guy
Lightning.
was Huggy Bear.
It goes back to Black Lightning. They had an American Ninja. They had this white guy, Michael Dudikoff.
You gotta bring up Black Lightning. What
We
the hell?
got to put a black guy in with this white guy. We got to level this motherfucker out. That's what they said.
Hey, Spencer for Hire had Hawk.
Send that kid to
Gee.
Freeland. Send him to Freeland.
Like I said, Spencer for Hire had Hawk. So
Yeah, he
whatever.
did. You're right. Yes, he did. Hawk was the shit. And Hawk went on to command of Deep Space Nine. So there you go.
Every show had one black guy.
Yeah, he did.
Magnum had a black guy.
Yeah, he did. He did. He was a helicopter
DC.
pilot. DC, it's right. He's the fuck with Huggins.
What I want to know,
Higgins.
Higgins,
Jesus Christ.
what I want to know is in the Star Wars universe, is there a planet with just all black people?
There's got to be.
Because there's only one guy in each movie. The new series you
much.
had.
Like, where did Samuel L. Jackson come from?
Fuck if I know. That
He came from.
that series, that trilogy. You had Sam Jackson. The original trilogy, you had fucking
Yeah, Lando.
Billy D.
Lando
Williams.
Calrissian. The
Yeah.
new series, you got Finn. The Mandalorian, you got Carl Weathers. There's
Yeah.
only one black guy in every series.
That means there's only 5
Is
black
there a
guys in
planet
the
where
universe.
there's a whole planet full of black people?
You know why? Because they all moved to Freeland and they're having problems over there with Black Lightning.
Like it, like does is there a Compton in Star Wars?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
it's on Tatooine. right past the bar.
Jesus Christ, man. Come on.
Look, even Spaceballs, they had the black troopers. We ain't found shit.
They had the pick, the giant pick with the pistol in the desert.
With a pick.
What have you found? We ain't
We ain't
found
found
shit.
Stupid. But anyway, you should watch The Mandalorian. It's really funny. It's a really great show. I loved it. I love
It's an awesome show.
It is. I love the jabs they took at the stormtroopers. Like I said, going back to how bad of a shot they are. So it's not so serious that it doesn't make fun of itself, which is really, really cool in that sense.
Now there's talk about 5 years. This show is already approved for 5 seasons.
It should be. Because I
And
tell you, it's great.
They're already talking about in season 2 we're going to start seeing some familiar faces that we know.
Okay. Now this is going to more confirm the timeline that you're referring to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, they're already talking about having a young Luke Skywalker series on Disney Plus.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if somebody's going to show up that's going to tie all that shit in.
Wouldn't it be advantageous? Now, granted, the movie did not do well, but maybe to have a series of Han Solo? Because I think he would be more.
I love the Han Solo movie. The only problem I had was his hair was bad.
Yeah, oh God.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
He still has Speed Racer hair.
You know.
Yeah. I actually really love that movie. And now it's not to me, the best thing since Return of the Jedi was Rogue One. I can watch Rogue One 1,000 times.
Yes.
But I did actually like Solo. Solo and Rogue One, to me, were better than the sequels.
They were.
Yeah.
They were. And not for nothing. I mean, Han Solo is Indiana Jones in space. It's what he is. For all intents and purposes. I mean, he really is. I mean, granted, same actor played him anyway, but I'm just saying it's the same guy. It's the same guy, just now he's in space. And I think
why does it always have to be Jawas?
As an episodic thing where he's a runner and he's constantly looking for the next score, could you imagine an episodic television series based on the adventures of Han Solo and all these different things? We got to see the run in the movie, in a Han Solo movie. But think of all the other stuff that we never heard about that could really exclamation point how cool Han Solo was. You know, that he wasn't just some pilot, some cocky pilot. He, you know, how did he acquire all these debts? How did he become like enemy number one of the Hutts? You know what I mean? Like, I want to see all that stuff in detail. And I think a series like that would be fantastic.
Well, that was one of the things I really liked about the Han Solo movie, that they explained a lot of shit.
Yeah.
That you didn't know about. Like, first off, the Solo movie showed the wardrobe in the Millennium Falcon that Lando had.
Yes.
At the end of Return of the Jedi, when Lando takes the Millennium Falcon back and you know you see him. I mean, I'm sorry. It's like I think it's like at the end. Yeah, you see him in Han Solo's outfit.
Yes.
Come to find out, it was his outfit that Han Solo was
to begin with, and Han Solo took it from him.
Hey,
and that is why in the Solo movie you see the character Lando Calrissian wearing that yellow outfit with the cape, but then in the new Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi, you see Billy Williams wearing that cape.
Yes.
That same exact outfit, because it was on the Millennium Falcon. I mean, there's no regard that he hasn't gained 40 pounds since that movie, and it still fits him, but it explains a lot of shit.
My brother gave me a Samsonite backpack, and when I brought it home and opened it up, there were a pair of shorts in it. So I feel the same way. True story. You guys are laughing. That fucking happened. That fucking happened. And I was like, it's Christmas all over again. I said, look, Chris, they're shorts. And don't you know those motherfuckers fit me? I am Solo. I'm straight up.
I got to tap something from the bar on that one. What the hell?
I'm dead serious. That kind of shit happens. But you know what? Like you said, though, there's a lot to watch. There's a lot to lead up to it. But like I said, watch Mandalorian for what it is. If you watch that alone, you'll be fine. If you really start getting into it, watch Rebels. Watch Clone Wars. Watch the movies.
It made me want to go back and watch those shows.
Because then you start to understand things a little differently. Just like in the last episode when we talked about Spider-Man Unlimited, when I went back and watched it the third time, and I was now looking for stuff based on knowledge that I gained by me looking up stuff about the show, I found things that I didn't find before, and I was able to appreciate it more. And I think you will appreciate not only The Mandalorian, But then you'll be able to appreciate these other movies. Like you said, look up those Easter eggs and see what it is in there and say, oh shit, now let me go back to the movie and go watch. Oh, there it is. You know, I mean, that's the kind of great fun stuff that cheesesteaks and pizza are made for. Straight up.
Especially if you're from Philly.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Now, on a related thing, because we are from Philly, if you watch Paranormal Caught on Camera, there was a fleet of UFOs that flew over West Philly. I don't know why West Philly, but that happened.
I always knew everybody who lived in West Philly was strange.
What's that?
The fuck? Damn,
He's like, UFOs on West Philly. That's what the guy said on the camera. It was the greatest thing in the world. But
you ever go to West Philly?
I live in West Philly.
He lives in West Philly.
Well, you're probably the only black dude there, because when I used to own a business in West Philly, and
You're the Gamby.
everybody there wore HEDC shirts, corduroy pants, and high top sneakers.
When was this?
10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Okay. Because I mean, now West Philly is primarily all the white students for Penn. So you got all these little Poindexters walking around with their Oxford shoes and their backpacks for everything. I bet you those backpacks don't have shorts in them like mine did. But I'm telling you, that's the way West
My
Philly is.
backpack got jets. I'm Boba the Fett. I bounty hunt for Jabba Hutt to finance my jet.
It's breaking
This
down.
show has taken a turn.
Whoa! Right turn. There you go, Clyde.
Come on, man. You don't know about MC Chris?
Well, this is going to hopefully, and just as another note too, and I was going to watch it today, but I didn't have enough time. The Rise of the Skywalker is on Disney Plus now as well.
Oh, it is?
Yes. It's about 2.5 hours long, which is why I didn't watch it today. But that's on there, and so that's a good thing. We can watch that on Disney Plus. Check out Disney Plus, man. They got so much stuff between the Marvel stuff, the Star Wars stuff. There's documentaries on there. If that's your thing, you can watch that stuff. Pixar is on there. So a lot of great stuff, but I recommend The Mandalorian. Man, do I recommend that show. I recommend it highly.
I'm about 4.5 episodes in.
Okay.
Because unfortunately I get busy.
Yeah.
And just for those 4.5 episodes, I am looking forward to finishing out this season and can't wait for the next.
Seriously.
And it's not like one of those series where, like, let me just equate this to Smallville just for a minute.
Yeah.
Smallville had some episodes that you were like, oh my God, that was a great fucking episode. And then you had 3 episodes of all 8 episodes are action-packed, edge of your seat, can't wait till the next one.
It's the truth.
Somebody say
it's the truth. I think my least favorite episode of Smallville was the Mr. Mxyzptlk episode. That was back in like season 1 or 2, I think, something like that. But
there was a lot of things in Smallville.
Yes. But man, Mandalorian, because that's what we're talking about today. See that segue I just did? You're gonna love it, gang. You're gonna love it. It gives you everything. It gives you Star Wars, it gives you spaghetti western, and it gives you Baby Yoda. So there you go.
It gives you
and it's coronavirus free.
It is coronavirus free, even in the bar.
It gives you a young man turning into a father figure when he learns how to take care of somebody who can't take care of themselves.
And we also kind of find out, and this is also in the prison episode, a man who was, and they allude to, who did not mind killing people at all, learns the value of life from this little journey. And we watch him legit, very subtly, but you watch him grow as a person.
Right.
From the first episode to the 8th.
Completely.
And it's like, shit, did he? Yeah, he did. He grew. You don't realize it, but it's because it's so subtle. But this is a guy who kills people and learns the value of life. Because remember, once again, he's not a Mandalorian. So you can put your own perspective in it and say, well, because he's not born on Mandalore and it wasn't like it was something he had to adopt versus grew with, he had to make his own decisions to say, I'll follow this. I believe in this, etc. He's not going to be genetically as diehard as a Mandalorian per se. You know, I'm digging deep into this. Like, in other words, I don't think even the writers are looking into that, but yeah.
Like old movies,
yeah,
I can take you back to The Professional.
Yes.
It's the same thing. He takes this child under his wing and it makes him grow as an individual.
Yes.
And he learns how to love, he learns how to care for, because by the end of the movie, he loved this little girl. And I think by the time we get to the end of this series, you're going to find that he actually loves the child.
And do the reverse. Go to Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. The kid hates him, but then learns to love him. Because when he turns his hat around, it's like a switch.
When I turn my head around, it's like I flip a switch. You know, I get the switch and then I put the thumb and then
Everybody's like, oh, I want the championship. I want the notoriety. He's like, I just need the truck.
Yeah, right?
I sold my shit. Now I can't drive home. I need this truck.
I love Stallone.
What are we doing? What are we doing, LeGrand? We go way off like we always do with every show we do.
Every damn time.
Every damn time we go off. Sylvester Stallone is not in Star Wars. But
Sylvester Stallone is cool as shit, though.
Yes, Apollo Creed is.
But Apollo
Creed
is. There's your way back. And Apollo Creed is in what?
That's where the shorts came from. The shorts came from Apollo Creed.
Yes.
That's right.
Because Apollo Creed wore the red, white, and blues.
Yes.
He got killed by the Russian. So Rocky washed him, put him on, and he beat the shit out of Ivan Dragoff.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. And then he kept him. He kept him. You know, just so bad.
Everything comes full circle.
It does come full circle. The only thing that didn't come in The Mandalorian is Kevin Bacon, and I'm waiting. Okay.
Oh, it's coming.
It's Kevin Bacon will be on The Mandalorian. But guys,
go on Degrees of The Mandalorian.
Go on Disney Plus, subscribe, get the free trial. I don't care what you do. There's so much content on there, and The Mandalorian is one of them. And it is truly, I can't say it enough. You have to watch this show. If you like adventure, if you like good writing, and if you like sci-fi, forget about Star Wars. You're going to love this show. If you love Star Wars,
they don't do that bullshit Netflix thing where they bring all 8 episodes out at once and you binge watch them in one day, and then you got to wait a whole year for the next season. They give you an episode every week.
Ain't that a bitch? And that's us old heads. Because I've said this many times. I come from a time when TV tells me when I have to watch.
Right.
Friday nights on NBC was the A-Team. At 9 o'clock, it was Riptide. You know what I mean? This is what I did.
Of the Stars, baby.
You remember? Yeah, remember Circus of the Stars? That was a great show. We're gonna do a show on that, I think. Circus of the Stars. Get yourself ready, LeGrand.
Oh my God!
We're gonna do Circus of the Stars. Bring Circus. I wish they would bring Circus of the Stars back. Once again, we're getting off because it's not on Disney
Lewis is Taming Lions.
Notice how he wears this beautiful meat suit that he just acquired from the front wardrobe. Guys, check it out. You're going to love it. But you know what you want to check out first? This channel right here, DJB Productions Network. Hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Comment on there as well. Ask questions. We would love to hear from you guys. We'll reply to it. We monitor it all the time. So by all means, share this out to everybody. Go on Facebook. You go to facebook.com/Capes Not Included, all part of the DJB Productions Network. So for my man Bobby T, who is the host of New Comic Book Wednesdays. And he's being affected by the coronavirus because a lot of Comic Cons are closing down. I saw you post that today.
WrestleMania is canceled. It pissed me off.
Yeah.
They might they're talking about
WrestleMania canceled.
they're talking about delaying opening day of Phillies Bank at Citizens Bank Park. If the Phillies opening day gets delayed, I'm gonna be salty.
There you go. There you go. All because of this Bud Light shit. LeGrand Jackson, who's
I blame it on Popeye's chicken sandwiches.
You
all
said
them
that
motherfuckers
today.
that ran out to buy that Popeye's chicken sandwich got the coronavirus.
You're saying
Let me
that.
tell you something.
Yeah.
The day the black woman who normally does the commercials didn't endorse that sandwich, I knew something was fucked up with it.
Right?
That's right. That's right. So for LeGrand, who's in Freeland, and Bob Taylor's in Philly, my name is Danny J. Until next time, gang, keep your cape in the wind and your eyes to the stars. Goodbye, everybody.